Hey everybody, and welcome to part 6 of the video series where I'm building a sort of deluxe mid-sized survival kit that's intended to support one person for 1 to 3 days, and I'm doing it all based on your feedback and suggestions. So in this last part, I'm going to start off by making some last-minute modifications to the contents of the kit, and then I'll start packing all of this stuff into the sling bag, and hopefully it'll all fit. We'll find out. It's coming up right now on Kitbashed Survival. Alright, so first things first, I would strongly recommend watching the previous 5 parts of this video series before you watch this video. That way you'll be completely up to speed and you'll know all the contents of the kit up to this point, and that way you're not down in the comments section saying something like, hey, you should have a tourniquet in that kit, when in fact there is a tourniquet way back here. Anyway, after part 5, I got some more suggestions from you. And so the first thing we're going to do is make a few last minute modifications, and then we'll start packing all of this stuff into the sling bag. So first up, I had this big roll of Leukotape from part 5. Obviously I don't want to pack this entire roll, it's way too big. So I pulled off about 4 or 5 feet of that and packed it into this little Ziploc bag. Next up, based on some viewer feedback, I originally included some of this bleed stop powder in the kit. This is that stuff that you can pour onto a wound and it causes it to clot. But I had several people say that this is not the best stuff to use. It's better to use some gauze that's been impregnated with this stuff. So I figured fair enough. So we'll take that out and we'll add in a couple of these quick clot gauze pads. Stops bleeding 5 times faster. Advanced clotting gauze. Up next, I wanted to add some additional fishing gear. I already have this Best Glide ASC Survival Fishing Kit compact version, which is pretty good, but if I have the space, I'm going to add one of these yo-yo reels. This is one of those automated fishing devices that you can just leave on the lake shore or whatever, and you don't have to sit there the whole time waiting to catch a fish. You can leave it be, and if you catch a fish, it'll snag it for you. Now, in a lot of places, these are illegal to use unless it's a survival situation, but obviously this is a survival kit, so I wanted to include one of these in the kit if it'll fit. Up next, I want to talk about the single item that I've gotten the most feedback on, and that is my choice of power bank to recharge my cell phone and so forth. So this is the one I've chosen, and it is a 10,000 milliamp power bank, which will probably give me about 2 charges on my cell phone. So a pretty good option for a 1 to 3 day survival kit. I think this would do just fine. However, a lot of people have suggested using a solar power bank like this one. So this is a 6,500 milliamp power bank. It's got a little flashlight on the back as well. And you can charge it conventionally. There's the ports, you've got your USB and then your micro USB for charging. But, of course, you can open it up and you've got these little solar panels. And then you've got these carabiners so that you can hook it on the back of your pack or hook it on whatever you need to so that it can sit in the sun and charge. And these are a good idea because, you know, if you're in the middle of nowhere, this will help you get a little bit of power. It's a very slow charge with these little solar panels, and you have to be in full sun. But I think most people's thinking is that it's better than nothing, and it will at least give you some power, and that's true. However, it's got a couple things going against it. First of all, it's very large, quite a bit larger than my 10,000 milliamp power bank, and it's less power. This is 6,500 milliamps. And this one is 10,000 milliamps. Now, there's probably a 10,000 milliamp solar charger out there, but this is the one I have. And so, you know, if I was doing a bug out bag where I was planning on being out in the wilderness for an extended period of time, this might be a good idea. But for 1 to 3 days, I really think that the 10,000 milliamp power bank is a better choice. And I may be wrong, and you're free to disagree with me, but I think this is what I'm going to go with. Now, if I get all of this stuff packed into the sling bag and there's room for this big thing, well, I might include it. But for now, I think I'm going to stick with the 10,000 milliamp power bank just because it's more power from the get-go. And like I said, for 1 to 3 days, I think this will be just fine. Up next, some more feedback from viewers. In part 5, I included some of these mini glow sticks. because they're really small, they don't take up much space, and they're pretty bright. But somebody suggested that maybe instead of using these, or in addition to using these, I could include some of these Bright Strike lights. And I've seen these in previous survival kits that I've reviewed in the past. And the way they work is it's got a little button. And these are the green Bright Strikes. They come in multiple colors. I decided to get green, but you've got a rapid flashing, a slow flashing, and then a steady. And they've got an adhesive back, so if you need to, you can stick them on something. So they're pretty cool. And I got a 10-pack of these, so I'm going to go ahead and put 2 of these in this kit. Now, because these mini glow sticks are so small, I'm just going to go ahead and keep those in the kit and just add the Bright Strikes to what I've already got. Another item I want to add is a couple of empty Ziploc bags. Now, I'm going to put a lot of this stuff in Ziploc bags just like these, but I figured it's always good to have a couple empty ones just for storage purposes. So we'll put those back there. And the last 2 items that I want to add fall into the food and drink category. So first up, I wanted to add a couple of these True Lemon lemon powder packets. And I wanted to add these for 2 reasons. First of all, I could add some of the lemon powder to some water as sort of a morale boost, get some lemon taste to the water. And also I figured, you know, I've got this fishing gear. If I catch a fish, I've got some salt and pepper. It'd be nice to put some lemon on the fish as well. Sort of a luxury item, but hey, it's my kit. I can put what I want in it as long as it fits. And speaking of luxury items, the final item I'm adding is a little bitty bottle of bourbon, if it'll fit. I figured this could be used medicinally as a painkiller or an antiseptic, or you could use it as a simple morale boost if you need it, or you could use it in trade. If you need to trade with someone, hey, never hurts to have a little bit of alcohol. All right, so we'll start organizing this stuff, and as I pack the kit, I'm going to be writing all this stuff down on a list so that at the end of this video, I can give you a master list of everything that's in the kit. Because with all the modifications I've made, I've kind of lost track of exactly everything that's in here, so that'll give me a good chance to do the inventory. All right, so first up, I want to isolate the stuff that's going to go on the outside of the kit. So all the stuff over here is going to go on the outside of the kit. So we've got the poncho tarp and the life tent, got the knife, the radio. We'll put our clothes over here, because that'll be one of the last things we add, I think. And I'm going to be bagging up a lot of the stuff. Some stuff will be vacuum sealed, like the food items, and maybe stuff that can be compacted down, like the bandana. Other stuff will just go in a Ziploc bag. Boy, there's a lot of stuff in this kit. Vacuum sealed Jolly Ranchers. Separate all these fire components so that they don't accidentally ignite each other. So first we've got our lighter, and to keep the lighter from accidentally releasing any butane, I'm going to put a zip tie around it, like that. And in this bag we'll put our tinder, got our fat wood and our cotton wax tender pieces. All of this is going to go in a larger bag. So here's our bellows, butane lighter, book of matches, the pencil sharpener, tinder, and matches. Oh, ferro rod and striker. And there's our fire bag. All right, we've got most of the stuff bagged up, so we're gonna start putting it into the sling bag, and we'll see how it goes. Now, in a previous part, I talked about either using this inexpensive stainless steel cup that I got at Walmart, or using this nicer military cup. And I think I'm gonna try to use the military cup because it might fit better in the bottom of the sling bag, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm starting to get a little tight on space, so I'm going to vacuum seal these toiletries because they're kind of taking up a lot of room. That's better. One thing I like to do when I pack a headlamp is I put a little piece of paper in between the contacts, and that'll keep it from accidentally turning on inside the pack. Okay, I've got everything in there except the clothing items. I'm gonna see if I can maybe pack these on the outside of the bag in maybe a dry bag or something like that. So now I'll get to work on attaching this stuff to the outside of the pack. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is for the tent and the tarp tent, I'm gonna put them on each side of the bag, kind of like a couple kidneys. And so the way I've decided to do it, and you could do this any number of ways, the sling bag came with 4 of these D-ring clips that open up like that. I'm going to use these in conjunction with some REI tie-down straps that I have in my fasteners bin. So let's see if we can get this working. Okay, there's one. There's that, and then what I'm going to do is, just as a safety precaution, because it's held in with the strap, but you know, if it gets caught on something, it could yank it out of there. And so there's a D-ring up here, and here's the lanyard coming from the tarp tent. I've got this tiny little carabiner, my Wazoo. This must have come with my Wazoo survival belt. I'm going to put it right in there and then put it around the D-ring. and that will just act as a safety, just in case this comes off. It's got that there. And we'll do the same on the other side. There we go. Okay, and then for the clothes, I've packed them into this little dry bag. I got this dry bag at Walmart. I think it was a 3-pack for like $10. Very affordable. And I think I'm going to strap the dry bag just right here up above this pouch. So I'll remove the American flag patch. I don't really need that. And it'll go right here. So let's see what I've got in my fastening gear. I've got some Velcro. I might just go right here. That might work. I thought about attaching a carabiner right here, but you know, I don't want this to come open and then lose the bag. So maybe I'll do a combination of a carabiner and the Velcro. Let's see. So here's a carabiner. This is a Coleman carabiner that I've had forever. And put it around the strap up here. Like that. Yeah, and then I'll just use the Velcro to hold it in place and act as a strain relief on that loop up there. Yeah, that's going to work out really nice. There we go. And we've got this collapsible bottle, which I don't really need, but, you know, might as well have it. Can't have too many bottles, so we'll just put that over here because the tube tent's a little smaller than the tarp over there. Just kind of put it on there like that. And then the last thing we want to do is work on the main strap on the sling bag. So on this thing, I'm going to put this pouch that also came with the sling bag that has a bottle of water, a plastic bottle. And I'm also going to put my knife, the Mora Companion. And then I got to put the radio somewhere. I'll either put it on the strap or maybe back on the pack somewhere. I'd like it to be on the strap so that it's within easy reach. So first let's do the knife. I want the knife to hang about right here. So I've got this assortment of Chicago screws that I got on Amazon, I think. And using a Chicago screw, I'm going to use this hook on the back of the Mora and hang it right here. So we'll get my awl out on my Swiss Army knife. This is not the same Swiss Army knife that's already in the kit. And I'll make a little hole here. And let's see. Really doesn't have to be that long at all. I'm going to try a really short one. Yeah, I think that's going to work. And then the Mora just goes on like that. Wow, that worked really well. Right on. Okay, and then this pouch for the water. It's got a clip there and then a MOLLE connection there. So let's see. I wonder if I could put it on there and then hang the Mora one step below. Yeah, okay, I think that might work. You know, when I try this on, I might move it down a little bit and maybe move the Mora down one more notch, but I think that'll work for now. Yeah, you know what? I just did a test fit, and I am gonna connect the water bottle to the D-ring and then one of these MOLLE webbings down here, and then I'm gonna move the Mora down. Trial and error. You know what? I think I'll just leave that Chicago screw in there. It's not going to do any harm there. And I'll just add another Chicago screw down here. By the way, if it seems like I'm sort of making this up as I go along, it's because I sort of am. I've never packed a sling bag like this before, so it's a new experience all around. I've packed lots of survival kits, but never anything quite like this. Every survival kit is unique and has different challenges. So we'll put the Mora down here now. And then the water bottle will go through this ring that the Mora was going through. So the water bottle will be hanging here and the Mora will drop down and kind of swing like that. So I think this is going to work. And then lastly, I've got the radio, and for right now, I'm just going to mount it up here in this loop like that. One last thing I did was to add another Chicago screw on the back of the pack, and that just gives one more mounting option for the knife. If I want to carry it back here for any reason, I can. I kind of like having multiple mounting points for the Mora knife. That's a nice luxury. All right, so there we go. We got it all in and on the bag. And although it's kind of an ungainly looking thing right now, I think it's gonna work. I tried it on and it does fit okay. It's a bit bulky, it's a little bit heavy, but you know, in a pinch, it'll do just fine. And actually, this is quite a luxurious survival kit. You could probably strip half the stuff out of this thing and still be okay. But yeah, I kind of like it. So now what I'm planning to do with this is I'm going to schedule a trip to go out and test this in the field. So I will take this out in the middle of nowhere for a couple days and we'll see how I do on it, living on just this and nothing else. And hopefully I'll be able to schedule that and get that done in the next month or so. That should be a lot of fun, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it actually worked and it all fit in there. I'm pretty happy. So by the time you'll be watching this video, I'll have a complete list of all the contents of the kit down in the comments section, just in case you want to see everything that went into this kit. But this was definitely a first for me. I had never done a kit build series before, and so I learned a lot, and I will apply those lessons in the next kit build that I do. But for now, that's it. I'm Eric Siegel. This is Kit Bashed Survival. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.